Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our webinar on certification process. We got Mr. Ajay Bajpai as our speaker today, who is a global IMS lead trainer auditor with over 35 years of experience. So I request him now to quickly start this session.
Thanks, Malika, for the brief and good introduction. Starting point of certification process is from the receipt of the inquiry form, which is filled by the client. He can download it from the certification body website, or certification body marketing team will share with the client. It is filled appropriately and shared with the certification body team, and certification body team will review the input received from the client, and if those inputs are good enough to process their inquiries for certification, the certification process starts from there, from the review of application form. And in case if there are any queries, they are resolved regarding units, scope, or some missing information like the country unit, the temporary site, or the design development activity. They are resolved, and then missing information are completed together by the client manager, BA manager, and so on. And then a quotation is sent to the client, and the process starts from there on. Sometimes the design applicability is not mentioned. Sometimes they write 10 units, but they do not specify which unit, which activity is taking place. And for example, 5 units are into 4 countries: Dubai, Qatar, Amman, Doha. And they say we are manufacturers and exporters of the laptops. So it is possible that some units may be doing only the assembly operation, some units may be only doing marketing, some units only dispatch and packing, some units may be doing final testing. So this happens practically in various kinds of manufacturing and processing areas, where input is a raw material of laptop, processing is collecting all the parts of laptops, assembly operation, then testing, packing, and dispatch as per customer requirement. So all the processes may not be taking place in one unit. But if we are not reviewing the application form appropriately, properly, then what happens? When we get into details of the certification, there can be issues coming out of various kind of a situation. And at the time of final certification grant or stage 2 audit, a lot of issues are coming, and scope of certification cannot be the one which is required. And finally, when the quotation is sent and the fees agreement is done with the client, and he signed the agreement form, where he gets into agreement that yes, there is a applicability of logo, there is a applicability to get the surveillance audit done, certification audit is not the end, stage 2 audit is not the end, how the logo should be used and all. So the client will sign the agreement and the process will go on. Then what happens? Application is reviewed for that audit team selection. We have discussed in past also, the entire focus of the certification process is revolving around auditors. How good, how very good, how poor, how very poor the auditor is or going to perform into audit situation is going to decide upon the performance of the certification process. I always say certification process is based upon PDCA and management principle if we talk of quality certification. Otherwise also all standards are based upon value addition, continual improvement. That is the last clause of the standard. So everything revolves around that, the performance of the auditor. So we need to see that yes, with respect to the scope of the code, with respect to his activity, the technical code is allotted to the client application. And then depending upon the number of employees of the company, depending upon skilled, unskilled in case of OSAS, EMS applicability, the auditor mandates are planned. It will be audit of 4 mandate, means 2 auditor will go for 2 days. If it is a very large organization, say 500 plus, I am just giving you a hypothetical example, not exact. It may be 3 days audit where two auditors will go, and maybe a requirement of technical expert is also there because the code is not with the two other auditors. So all this is done, and then audit plan is prepared, which is one of the key element of the certification process that defines which audit will which auditor will do which area, which department. First day, what all will be done. Second day, what all department will be covered. Third day, there will be a closing meeting at 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. So all that is defined into the audit plan. Then administrative arrangements are again very important because we have seen many good auditors failing because of improper arrangement of the travel, stay, days and all. They fail. We have seen a number of situations where I was witnessing or I was getting witnessed by a board at times. Situation went wrong on first day for 2 hours because of improper admin arrangement. There were supposed to be three auditors reaching the plant in UAE area, ABC XZ area, ABZ area at 10 o'clock. One auditor comes at 9:30, second comes at 10:30, third comes at 11:30. So how the audit plan arrangement will be made, how the opening meeting will take place. So for that matter, admin arrangements are very important and suitability to them. Some auditor is vegetarian, some is a non-vegetarian, some is having fasting, maybe depending upon if there's a Eid or there's some other culture festival is there. So we have to take care of all this into admin arrangements. So then stage one audit is conducted. Stage one audit is what? Checking the preparedness of organization to face stage two. His readiness is checked into the stage one audit by the team of auditors. And then the report is submitted to the certification body review team, and review is done to verify what is the completeness of the audit report, whether the desired area, desired unit, desired department functions have been audited, maybe on sampling basis, and are reported adequately so that the decision can be taken by the team to plan the stage to audit, which is also called the final audit in terminology of many trainer, consultant, certification body, boards, and so on. So now we are into again the selection of the audit team. Stage one is done. Either one or two auditors have gone depending upon the size, nature of the company, complexity of the operation, number of employees, and so on. But now it is the stage two audit planning is going on. Feedback has come to us from the one auditor or two auditors who have gone for stage one audit into the reports that now this is the status of the company, these are the complexity of the operations, and application review has already been done by the review team. So all this is combined now as a decision making for planning of the stage two audit. So they again go for the selection of the audit team. Now three auditors are required, but technical expert is also required, maybe observer auditor is also required if applicable. Certification body may be sending an observer auditor for training purpose, or there is an observer auditor from accreditation board also at times, or it is a special audit depending upon what kind of audit is there. Again, audit plan is prepared to see that yes, audit is to be conducted for 4 days, two auditors. First day opening meeting 9:30, fourth day closing meeting 5 o'clock, whatever the lead auditor decides as per the situation and as per the progress of the audit. Again, the admin arrangements are developed, and I always say confirmed. Many times we fail because we do not confirm. Coordinating team sometimes do not discuss with the observer auditor, so he is not able to arrive in time. He reaches to a wrong hotel because the hotel address has not been given to him, or there are two hotels with the same name. One is Holiday International, one is Holiday Inn. One is in the center of Delhi, second is on the outskirts of the Delhi. So all is done wrong. Opening meeting cannot start at the given time in the audit plan. And then if all that happens correctly, then conduct of audit. Audit starts by the team of the auditors, which is the most critical activities we have been discussing in various webinars and videos of ours. That auditor is the key to all this. His quality is his conduct is the most important, which is defining the quality of the audit, and how good and how bad the client is ultimately going to feel, and what kind of a report he gets, and what kind of situation he is coming into when audit is conducted. So now audit is conducted. So again, a report is submitted to the certification body team, recommendation, subjective recommendation, non-recommendation, whatever. A report has to be prepared. There are many auditors and trainers and consultants who are confused. Sometimes they feel if there is a follow-up audit, what is the need of the report? I always tell them, unless the report is prepared, unless you classify a situation into major, minor, non-conformity, and unless you say there are many major systemic failed, how you can say non-recommended or a follow-up audit is given? I have been telling many auditor trainers this situation. But yes, report is the output of the audit. Once audit is conducted, report has to come out. Otherwise, the audit is not complete. So now the report is again going for admin review first of all to see that yes, all the requisite documents are becoming a part of the pack of the audit report. Okay, so they review starting from application form to the stage 2 audit, including audit plan, report, comments of the audit team, and so on. Then once the administratively the papers are completed, then report is going for a technical review. This is a part of certification process, mind it. And here a detailed analysis is done by the technical team. They look at the type and quality of the report, what all has been addressed by auditors, if design is applicable, have they gone into clause 8.3.1 to 8.3.4, have they looked at design validation, have they looked at design review, have they gone to the site for applicability of the design validation if it is required, what is the outsourced process if it is applicable, have they written it, how the customer property is handled, are customer property is applicable, is there a storage area for that, if it is, have they verified it that. So all these technical things are now reviewed in a technical review. And during this process, a lot of coordination is going on between the auditor, client, and the certification body team, because there can be 1, 2, 3 number of entries and observation as applicable and as desired by the situation of the audit. So they need to be addressed to, CAPA has to be filled, correction action needs to be demonstrated, corrective action needs to be demonstrated, so that the certification process is continued. Without the effective closure of the non-conformities, certificate issue in the certification process is not continued. If client has not submitted the objective evidence, he has not submitted the photograph or videos or the revised formats or revised procedure as required into the AFAR or corrective action request format or car and concerned as reported by different CVs and ABs, the process cannot process further. So, lot of coordination again required with the audit team members because they were onto the site. Number of times inputs are required from audit team members before moving towards this direction. Okay, so now all this is done. Then now decision making for issuance of certificate is going on. Again, there is involvement of technical expert. The certification body committee is formed. There can be a role of impartiality committee also, depends upon situation. So then the decision of issue of certificate is taken, a draft certificate is shared with the client, and the situation of certification process is coming to an end once this certificate is issued. Okay, all that is again now subject to analysis and future action. We know what is the certification process, we have studied that in details. So if it is the certification process of Guardian Assessment Private Limited, which is a certification body accredited by UAF for 9/14/45 and now going for number of detailed standards additions, their situation will be what? They, when conduct the internal audit of the certification process by trained and competent auditors, they will study the points starting from how they have addressed the requirement from addressing the client inquiry, customer inquiry till the certificate is issued. They will take the samples of files, few files from UAE, few from Qatar, few from USA, few from Australia, few samples of 9,000, few samples of 14,000, few samples of 45,000, and different auditors. That is how the internal audit needs to be conducted. Few audits done in the month of January 2023, few audits done in March, few audits done in May. So they have a good sample size and now they can conduct effective internal audit and they came out with a good report. Report is going where? Report is going for a effective conduct of management review meeting in the Guardian Assessment Private Limited, where the three internal auditors have reported the performance of the Guardian Assessment Private Limited CB internal audit functions. File is now prepared, hard soft copy, whatever way. There are two non-conformity, three observation, two area for improvement. So now the team of CB, the audit manager, the certification marketing manager, maybe the technical manager, the general manager, the vice president, CEO, they will all sit down and they will look at what is the certification process objective. There are different types of objectives which they can look into. Providing certification services in the desired time, in the committed time. Maybe one of the objectives I do not know because different CVs have got different kind of objectives, but objectives should be always in line with the requirement of 17021 and 19,011 so that we are not going wrong. And in any situation, our commitment should not be going in a direction where it looks at easy or simple certification, which many certification bodies do, then their certificates are suspended and cancelled. We have seen in last 3 decades all this happening. So management review meeting of a certification body or a training organization will review how the results of internal audits are there, what all are the points of action, they implement them, and they do further monitoring. This is where I stop sometime. This is very, very important. We have seen many clients, we have seen many consultants, we have seen many certification bodies performing, and they do not follow this activity, implement and monitor further action. They do very good up to here. Further tracking is not done. They make a lot of planning into management review meeting. They decide responsibility authority at times. Sometimes they fail. So we read non-complete or observation depending upon the situation of the audit and what has been demonstrated to us by the client when I am a certification body team auditor. But they are failing a lot into this area. And whatever has been done so far is not bringing the desired results. Desired result is what? Improvement. The entire theme, entire requirement of going in for certification by a client or a certification body going for accreditation for that matter is improvement. If improvement are not brought about via certification process, which we have discussed throughout the slides, the entire process is not worth spending time and money. We have a lot of situations when inquiry comes and client wants to know, sir, what will happen, some certification. I have discussed in few webinars the benefits coming out of certifications. So one of the first one and the last one I always say is the improvement. Entire organization moves on to the path of improvement by following this effective process of, which is called certification process of a certification body, whereby the client is reaching to a situation where he is awarded with a certificate and he goes through the situation. And then we have got links of certification and training here. We are conducting this webinar on behalf of TNV Academy, which is the theme is learning without limit, unlimited learning. I myself have conducted more than 100 webinars in last 2 years. After COVID, we have been very, very active. And TNV certification under Exemplar Global provides accredited training We have got here around 80 plus training courses. We do even accredited training courses as per 17021, 17025, and so on, apart from 91445 up to 50,001. Also, we have 9,000, 14,000, 45,000 standard accredited with UF along with IAF with them. Then we have got TNV system certification with IAS and IAF accredited available. Also, we have got another group company, Guardian Assessment Private Limited, for 9,000, 14,000, and 45,000 standard, again with UF and IAF. So this is what I thought we will discuss today. And just a quick look at inquiry, contracting, and certification process, because it starts from that point when client is ready and he says, yes, I want to apply for certification. So that is the situation which is called inquiry and contracting. Then we go into application review, selection of audit team, technical expert as required after allotment of the technical code of the client. Depending upon what is his product and process, there are NACE code, there are IAF code. The listing is available today. The whole world can know it immediately by one click onto the Google IAF code, NACE code, with respect to wood manufacturing or with respect to laptop manufacturing or with respect to education or multidisciplinary hospital. What is the code and what should be the audit team selection, and number of employees are 100 into that hospital. So how many man days or women days will be required to be conducted in audit? Modi ji in India had done a lot of opening for women, so we can. There were already a lot of women, female auditors into our certification process. I am sure they will increase now with the increasing number of MPs and MLAs into assembly in India, maybe for that matter. Then planning of stage 2 is going on, selection of team is going on, preparation of audit plan is on. A good effective audit plan will lead to a good and positive value added audit. It is a very simple theme which we have discussed 6 months back into audit planning webinars. Then audit is conducted, then reports are reviewed, any missing points into the report, any low, high, medium risk NCs are there depending upon which standard, food, energy management, VCMS, ABMS we are there. So those are addressed adequately, and then decision for issue of certificate is done. And then finally the entire thing needs to be analyzed for future improvement. So thank you very much. If there is any question that can be asked, or this webinar will be put on to TNV Academy YouTube, which can be watched by the participant and the whole globe to learn. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bajpai, for such a vast and good knowledge about the topic. I am really glad and benefited by the knowledge which you have shared with us today. I am sure our participants must have enjoyed the context of today's webinar too. I thank Mr. Bajpai once again on behalf of TNV Academy for giving his valuable time and accepting our invitation to be the guest speaker for today. I also thank all the participants for taking out time joining us in the webinar today. That was it, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to share with you all. Thank you.